Hi everyone. In the next series of videos, we will actually talk about the how of exercise. How to bring exercise into your daily life, into your work, into your home environment, and everywhere that you go. Because exercise should be a part of your life, whether you're traveling or you're going to work or even going to a party. So we'll start with the pitfalls. This video talks about what stops people from exercising. Now, in an era where everybody talks about exercise, and we have all these videos and all these resources, you would think that everybody would be exercising on a regular basis, but that's not the case. In fact, a very small proportion of the population is actually exercising. So what are the pitfalls? One of the first things that we want to start with is the big pitfall. Before you start, you have to check with your physician, because there could be so many things that actually can go wrong if you start exercising right away without getting evaluated. As we get older, we develop medical problems that do not fully manifest until you start doing exercises. You have problems such as cardiovascular disease, you can have degenerative bone diseases, or spinal problems that are dormant, but when you exercise, they can become fully manifested. So it's critical to check with your physician before you start exercising. Otherwise, most commonly, it will become a pitfall. Now, the first big mistake people make is setting objectives. In fact, a lot of times people don't set objectives. They just start exercising. And that's why a great majority of people fail. Or they set too big of an expectation, almost like a New Year resolution. One of the first things we must do is set achievable expectations, achievable goals. Set small goals, because the most important thing you can do is to set a success goal, meaning whatever goal you're setting, you must succeed in achieving it, because then that sets the next step and the next step. Success is critical. Now, if you haven't exercised before, the next step is not a mile run. The next step is not a marathon. The next step is a 5-minute walk. So it's critical for you to decide where you are right now, be accurate. You can't compare yourself to where you were when you were younger, when you were an athlete as a teenager. You have to compare yourself to a month ago, to 2 months ago. It's when you compare yourself to that period of time, to a closer period of time, that you can set realistic expectations. So let's start with your expectations. Along that line, it's important to pick the kind of exercise that you like, the kind of exercise that you can actually do in your space, in your home, at your work. And it's the kind of exercise that can be continued for a while. Because if you pick something that somebody else tells you, or you saw on TV, or something that you've never done before, it's most likely to fail. So start with something simple, and more importantly, something that you think you might like. And usually it's something that you do at home. So start there. Another pitfall is that we don't mark our successes. We repeatedly talk about whiteboards or writing in a little notebook. It's critical that we see our successes on a daily basis. It's always against that previous success that we measure ourselves. So mark your successes. Put it somewhere where you can see it. Put it on a piece of paper on your fridge. Put it on a whiteboard. Put it on your phone. But whatever you have to do, make sure that you have a measurable way that is visible, that's conspicuous, and that will keep you motivated, especially if you have a way to check it off. Another pitfall is that we start exercising and the only motivator is ourselves. Well, for some of us that will work, but for a great many, they need somebody, either a coach or a friend or a partner or a neighbor or a coworker or a life partner. It's important to have somebody like that. Otherwise, if you're by yourself, it's most likely that you will not keep up that movement. So get a partner. That will make the success more likely to happen. Although we often say you don't need any equipment, all you need is space. You can do all the exercises you need just on the ground. But I think having some equipment at home and an office can really help your exercise. The kind of equipment we're talking about are simple things such as dumbbells, stretch bands so that you can actually work out your legs, ankle weights, the leg pedal exerciser, and basically these things. Just with these few exercise equipment, you can do everything you could do in a full gym. So start with some of those equipment. Don't rely completely on them, but they can really help accentuate your exercise. Now, along the same line, a lot of people get equipment, but we know what happens with equipment. They either go in a garage or in a basement or in a closet or just in front of you and you put your clothes on them or put a book on them. It's important that you use those equipment. It's important that it doesn't collect dust. Every day, make sure that you get on that foot pedal exerciser. Every day, you should make sure that you bring out those dumbbells. So make sure you use the equipment and don't use it as a psychological crutch. Now, the next pitfall is that when you're younger, a lot of times you're not taught to stretch. And as you get older, you continue not stretching. Stretching is critical. Stretching is critical because injuries become much more common as we get older. So stretching helps reduce injuries significantly. Stretch every day. You can stretch, and we'll show you how to stretch, but it's important to stretch the ankles, the shoulders, the knees, and the wrist as well, because those are the most common areas that you get injury. And as we get older, injuries last longer, and stretching helps improve the recovery, or most importantly, avoid injury altogether. Now, lastly, most people exercise because they want to lose weight. Using exercise as a means of losing weight is the worst thing you can do. Exercise does help you with weight management. And if you're a marathon runner or you've run 5 miles a day, definitely can help you lose weight. But for the great majority, it doesn't help too much with weight loss, but it does so many other things. So don't use exercise as a means of weight loss. Use exercise as a means of maintaining a certain weight. Use exercise as a means of strengthening, as a means of endurance, and also use exercise to build your brain. Use exercise to enhance your mood. In fact, exercise has been shown to be better than any medication for mood management. But for maintaining weight or weight loss, it's not the best tool. Now, there are many other pitfalls, but these are the core ones that we wanted to start with. I want you to address these in your own life to make sure that we can start properly and maintain exercising. But more importantly, address your own pitfalls. Each of us have our own limitations, our own pitfalls, the thing that stops us from starting exercise and the thing that stops us from continuing our exercise. So address those, because without addressing those, no matter what kind of exercise equipment, no matter what kind of routine you bring into your life, it will fail. So I hope that this helps, and now we can start with real exercises.